worth it just to sit down for 2 seconds. So some of you are probably wondering, what the heck is this space here? Because the view is amazing, the rooftop is amazing, and it seemed just to be like an open innovation space. So what is actually going on here? So let me give you some numbers on that. So SAP, first of all, is the world's biggest enterprise software company. What does that mean? It means that 87% of the world's food is produced within the SAP ecosystem. And we are in 180 countries. And yes, you hear right, spaces like this, either at SAP's university campuses, is opening up every single week around the world. Open innovation is the key for how enterprises in the world are going to build the new future. When you build a new future, and this is a call to all of you, because being a startup and being an accelerator, I look at it like we had like the version 1, we had the version 2, and I think we can go to the 3.0 version now, where you are obligated, just like any enterprise is obligated, to think about purpose, think about the 17 global goals. So you as an accelerator need to make sure when you accelerate, when you work with startups, whatever they build, whatever they do, whatever they have in mind, that the 17 global goals is part of that conversation. This is what companies are doing all over the world. This is what governments are doing all over the world. So that's an obligation that every single accelerator has, just like every single startup has that accelerator. And then I teamed up with a woman called Cecil. I know probably some of you know about her. She creates the startup guides. And this is actually a really pretty fun story, because who in the heck am I to come to New York together with Cecil and build a startup guide for New York? I'm Danish, live normally in Silicon Valley, came to New York for around 1.5 years ago, and I was trying to figure out what is going on in New York City on startup. And I must say in the beginning I was not that impressive, because I came from Silicon Valley, and kind of like, for me New York is fashion, art and pop and great networking, but innovation, But I was proven wrong very, very quickly. And I also realized that New York is not just a city for United States. New York, Manhattan is the world city. When you are a world city, you have an obligation to show the way. Because you actually have UN here, you have the headquarters of UN, you have the C-level of the world coming here. That gives all of us obligations to show the way. So therefore, Cecil and I came together, and it was so funny, because when I came in here, many of my good friends are here who showed me around, who showed me the startup. And I remember Cecil and I, we were at a very nice dinner, we gathered all those great people and accelerators and so on, and said, we're going to do a startup guide for New York, but it's not just a startup guide. It's a startup guide about innovation with purpose, where we put the woman in the front seat. And why do I say that? I'm actually the global lead for She Innovate for UN Women, to make sure women get a seat at the innovation table all over the world. I have a global team in 130 countries, and I rally that women having a seat at the innovation table. Yesterday, I was at a blockchain. I know a lot about blockchain. I'm one of the top 20 on blockchain, and I have a conversation. And what I get really frustrated about is that new technologies like blockchain, like machine learning, is already male-dominated. What the heck is going on? We have so many women moving going on, but we do not fix this. So at Cannes Lions last week, we launched girl lounges with UN Women at university campuses. I have a network of 3,500 universities around the world, where we are setting up girl lounges now to make sure that women get into this. This is also the reason why this floor, and you'll hear Sabayo speak after me, that we actually have a women accelerator on this floor. We have accelerators all over the world, but this one in New York, which is the world scene, showing the way. We have a woman accelerator who builds business-to-business application. The last thing I'm going to say before I have the unexpected thing is that I had a conversation about Cecil about the startup guides. And what I focus a lot about is the pitch to the corporation. How do I, as a startup, go and pitch to a corporation? I think we need to make, and maybe I will do it together with my good friend here, I think we need to make, because startups learn how to pitch to VCs, But pitch to corporation is a whole other ball game, because you actually need to not just talk about your startup, you need to talk about why your startup will fit into that corporation. You need to know that corporation. It's a whole other way of speaking. So I actually think there's a big chunk of work we need to do. So accelerators, startups, get really into the mood where they know how to work with corporation. Because I've made it to my journey in life to make sure, and that's why I love everything that Christina is doing, and I'm going to Ghana Tech Summit here in a couple of weeks. We need to make sure, and I'm so sorry, all great accelerators here, we need to make sure that every single good idea, every single startup idea in the world is being seen. And it can not only be for the one who was lucky to be in Silicon Valley or were lucky to be in some kind of specific accelerator. It cannot be like that. I'm from a country where education is for free. I'm from a country where everybody have an opportunity. And my mission in life is to make sure that everybody have that opportunity. So I beg you, dear accelerators, to step up and make a global collaboration where everybody have an opportunity. Because I tell you, the corporations out there today, they need those ideas. If you want to reach the 17 global goals by 2030, it cannot just be few people who contribute. It needs to be the world who's contributing, right? So therefore, what I want to throw into this conversation is my new good friend here that I met at Cannes Lions. And I'm not going to say too much about it. I'm just going to have you tell them what you're all about.
Sure. Thanks, Anne, and thank you all for listening. I just want to say I appreciate Anne's leadership in helping bring scale to startups and helping me and I know others with the conversation to large corporations, because it is a foreign world as an entrepreneur, and I think as many of you as entrepreneurs that's a conversation that's sometimes scary to have because we just don't know the lingo. And so when I was in Cannes and when I met Anne, we had just announced a new project for Africa, a token for Africa. A stable currency in partnership with my partner AKoin, and he has tremendous reach, and people really like him in Africa because of AKoin Lighting Africa, a project he started about 7 years ago to bring lighting through solar. He's so far brought it to about 100 million people, and quite literally could actually solve the problem. There's only 600 million people without electricity. And so, using that access and the access that he has as a celebrity, bringing a new crypto to Africa that's stable, but also, and I think more importantly, an ecosystem of apps that all work together to bring opportunities to the people in Africa all over the continent. And that could be, earning money simply by doing what you normally do with your crops, doing remediation or keeping track of water quality. These are all things that governments pay to gather this data, but we're able to bring it to people and pay them directly through this cryptocurrency. And in this way, being able to provide loans and banking and things that were otherwise not available, we're hoping to help bring the continent up and bring folks into your accelerators as well to start new companies. So I think that's all I need to talk about with that. But thank you so much, Anne.
You're very welcome. So one of the things that I always make sure, and for you probably can't see it, I wear two things. I wear the global goals every single day, and I wear a microphone, because my job is to make sure everybody have a voice. And that's the reason why we, in 1 year, have become one of the best meetup scenes here at Hudson Yard. We do all kind of crazy stuff here. But I'm just telling you one thing. If your logo is not on the wall out there, you're welcome to have this as your hood when you are in New York on Manhattan. This is where it's an open innovation space where accelerators, startups, academia, great people who is on a mission for the global goal to meet the corporate world and change the world. So thank you so much to Accelerator Awesome, who was together with me from the day one, and to Silicon Harlem, who was together with me for day one. Woo!
All right, folks. Oh my God, so many microphones. I'll take all the microphones. Okay, everyone feeling caffeinated? There, Clayton's caffeinated. Anybody else?